Yeah, we didn't, as a district, make state standard. Again, that part is true. I don't think anyone really expected us to make it in a couple of years. High school did make state standards, and more impressively, it actually got an academic distinction in mathematics performance and improvement. And that's very hard for Marlin High School to get, because to get a distinction, you're compared against 40 schools that they say are like you. But for Marlin, the 40 schools that are like us, Marlin High School, you're compared to a bunch of KIPP academies and STEM academies and magnet schools. And to beat those guys out is pretty hard to do, because they get to pick which kids they want to put on their campuses and don't. They don't have to take anybody that walks into the door like Marlin High School does. So, it's kind of a rigged game in their favor. And still, on math performance and improvement, we beat them out. And so pretty impressed with that. You go into the middle school, in its top, in this 40 student comparison group, it was number 2 in math improvement and math performance. And that's up from the bottom from last year. So, you're talking about going from, the bottom of the rankings to the very top of the rankings in really a single year with a new principal there. Pretty impressive. It would have got a distinction if it had been improvement required. What it did do, however, there's 4 indexes, and the STAR scores are used to calculate all 4 indexes for every campus and every in the district. And the middle school went up in all 4 indexes, some of them quite significantly. So it was a pretty impressive year for the middle school too. Elementary school didn't make it, but of the 4 indexes, it actually made the 4th one, which is post-secondary readiness, which means that you had enough kids passing at the high level of the STAR test to earn index 4 points. And so it actually made an index. First time the elementary's made an index in years. And so we're really pleased with what we're seeing with the growth. I know I talked to TEA Friday afternoon, actually probably Friday evening, and they said they were pretty impressed with the index results when they came back. It's different when the STAR scores actually came back. They changed the test every year, so we couldn't compare the tests. It's like, golly, it looks like we went backwards. And I think TEA felt the same thing. Man, it looks like we went backwards. But then when you look at the statewide averages, they all went backwards too. But the index systems did not change. They're calculated the exact same way they were last year. So that's a way to compare apples to apples. If we get the middle school a little higher up, the district should make it. And if that happens, then we still got some issues with the elementary. It's improving rapidly at the elementary, but we didn't get a good toehold on that thing until this last year. So with the quality instruction that we've got going on, we really think that we can make it maybe this year as a district. So we took 2015, 2016 school year to make plans to get this school year ready to go, getting the teacher pay raises put in, so that by the way, we had a very low teacher turnover rate this year. Very low, not counting reduction in force at least. The number of turnover, the veteran teachers is the lowest they've ever seen in a lot of years. So I bet we didn't have about 18 new teachers out of 90. So that's not bad. We're headed in the right direction there. So we're getting the teachers we need, we're keeping the teachers we need, and we're seeing the results in the classroom as an outcome of that. I can tell you this, for at least the last 3 years, probably 4 or 5 years, and now this is the first time that it's had a distinction. So it's pretty incredible. When I saw it, I looked it up, and then when you look at the summary report, the academic summary report, there's a gold star there. I was like, well, what's that gold star doing there? I don't think that you'll find instruction anywhere any better in the state of Texas than you will at the middle school and high school. And I expect to see there's a lot of great teachers at the elementary. We had a few issues we had to correct this last year with some new hires. But that's just not Mike Seabolt saying it. I've got TEA officials who have been here saying that they wouldn't mind bringing anybody here from across the state just to see what instruction should look like. So, your kids will get a great education in Marlin, because I promise you the teaching is probably better than anywhere else in the state that you can go. There'll be very few places you can go that can out-teach the teachers that we have in place. We're going to run the same plan again. We're going to concentrate on teaching the things that need to be taught to a very high level, verifying the kids learned it, and when they don't learn, we're going to have interventions to do something about that. As a result, I expect to see more gains again, for next year. But we're doing the right things. I mean, if you call Jerry Mays over at Region 12, they know what we're doing. TEA knows what we're doing. We're doing the right things. We've made the hard decisions. We had to sacrifice a lot to pay for these teacher raises, but we needed to keep the great teachers we had, and we needed to add more great teachers to the pile. And we were able to do that, but it came at a cost. And the cost, was not easy. But I think our kids are going to be better off in the long run for it. The commissioner did an interview with the Waco Tribune just not a month ago, where he says, closing Marlin is highly unlikely. So I was a little disappointed to see the article last week where Marlin's future uncertain. In fact, I was talking to a very senior TEA official again Friday afternoon, and they said nobody told them that. They just made that up. So that was a soundbite just drug out of pure air, just so that you could put it on there and somebody will read it and maybe sell a paper. But it had nothing to do with, I didn't tell them that. I can tell you that Commissioner Mike Morath didn't tell them that. I can tell you that no other senior official at TEA told them that. That's just made up. The TEA, what Mike Morath, the commissioner, said a month ago remains true. They want Marlin to be able to recruit and keep the best teachers that it can, and they want to see those improvements as fast as they can be done. And he understood, and he actually made it clear in that article, that's going to take some time.